To get ready to make your Shrinky Dink gemstone art, you will be working in your journal. We have a Shrinky Dink tracer. This is the size of the plastic that you will be getting for your Shrinky Bling project. To have some bling, it cannot be tiny, so your design should fill as much space of this plastic size as possible. It's fun just to play with geometric shapes for your gems. Here I am just creating different triangles, connecting them together to create something like a rough cut gem. Triangles, squares, quadrilaterals, different shapes that all connect and grow from each other. And this is just one really cool way to create kind of a chunky looking natural gem that can hang from a string. Another concept you can work with, and you should try a few in your journal, is the idea of a cut gemstone. And that means that whatever shape is on the outside of the gem, you'll repeat it inside the gem. This is kind of a hexagon, I suppose, with a missing bottom, but then you connect the corners of those gems together. And even at the bottom, I did more of a triangle connection. And then I decided to go around and try many triangle connections. So just do some experimenting in your journal. Here I am tracing again just to have fun and do some more. I will also be making some really perfectly geometric shapes available. Since our journal paper is kind of thin, you can put a shape behind it and trace it to get a more regular polygon. So a polygon that has exactly equal sides with really exactly equal angles inside. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. And so I create a 7-sided shape within and then connect the outside and inside with lines. That's a neat little shape right there. And here's another way that you can really use a ton of space on your plastic. Just create a shape that is basically the full size of the rectangle, but maybe removing certain sides. This will be an emerald cut gem. Feel free also to grab a ruler so you can make some really straight lines. Here I am using a ruler to mark inside of this shape that has 6 sides. Create another 6-sided shape inside and then draw some lines going from outside to in. The other thing you'll be experimenting with today is the colored pencils and using monochromatic color schemes. This means that if you want a blue scheme, you might grab a black and a white pencil and all the blues you can find. You'll try overlapping black and blue, white and blue, light and dark blues, and see how many different color swatches you can get with nice, neat, dense coloring. Now, when you're coloring on your plastic, it won't look quite as good as on paper, but this is a good opportunity to practice how nicely you can color using small, even strokes. Keep in mind, you'll be doing a different hue or maybe a different tone on each facet of your gem. So in this example, I'm using one kind of medium blue for one facet or one shape, a darker one for another shape, and a lighter one for another shape. You want to have a lot of variety in your shades and tints. And of course, inside of one large shape, you might do a full blend from dark to light. The light might catch one of your facets, and you'll see kind of a nice ombre effect between dark and light. And again, you don't have to color all of your art in your sketchbook, but it's nice to do some experimenting. Your really good coloring will happen on the plastic that we get for our Shrinky Dink. And you'll want to fiddle around with color. Here I wanted to try some really cool greens. There was only 2 greens. So another thing you can do to expand your range of monochromatic color is to find the colors that are on either side of your main color on the color wheel. For green, this is yellow on one side and blue on the other. So you can use that yellow to make a slightly lighter green, and you can use the blue to make a slightly darker green. You can experiment with mixtures of all of those to make all kinds of various greens. Same with if you're using a color like red. Maybe you are using some orange with your red, or maybe you're using some purple with your red. Check out the color wheel near you, and you can see that even a monochromatic color scheme can be pretty colorful once you use those neighboring colors. Once you get approval for your design, and as long as it's large inside of the plastic and you have a color scheme chosen and experimented with in your journal, you will get a plastic, and you will also get an ultrafine Sharpie. On the smooth side of your plastic, you will use the Sharpie to trace your design. If you accidentally use the scratched side of your plastic, then your Sharpie will kind of feather out and won't look as nice, but that's okay too. If you want to go ahead and flip it over from there, the scratchy side is perfect for our colored pencils. So I'm going to start with a light coloring with my yellow, and that gives me still some scratchy tooth to be able to get some green on top and really play with using all of those colors inside each facet of my gem. Again, I can use one solid color inside of each shape, or I can do this sort of ombre blending effect from light to dark inside of each shape. Remember, you'll need to color in the entire gem. Even the things that you want to leave white, you will need to use a white colored pencil. If you want to add parts that sparkle, you'll need to use that white colored pencil first before you use anything else. Remember, all of your colors will become extra vibrant as soon as you shrink your Dink. The next step is to carefully snip out your shape, whether it's a skinny strip of plastic you need to remove or a corner. And then before you melt your Shrinky Dink, you'll need to punch a hole wherever you would like it to hang from. This all has to happen before we fire it.